Alright, so in this video I'm going to help show how I did the battery for Runway 00, Objective C. So you're going to start off, the trick is to be strafing alongside this line. So I have the nade icon kind of near it. If I'm in neutral planar view, the nade icon is going to be like going along it. So what you want to do to get a consistent setup, at least for my consistent setup, and I followed Dusky's run, is after you throw your nade at this drum, you want to try to get into planar view, so now you have everything as consistent as you can. So you go into planar view, you're walking with the nade going along this line here, and you have just the smallest amount of runway on the screen, so you can see the road. This is assuming you're using widescreen. So I'll just back up a bit. So after I throw that, I just try to get into as consistent of a setup as I can, and I start priming the nade as I'm getting past this wall. So like around here is when I'll start priming the nade. Some people do it around there, some people do it around here. I just did it maybe around like here. So I start priming the nade before this thing comes off the screen. So you walk through the first one, and then you get to the second one, and it's like as you get to the second one, that's when you decide to turn. And now as I've turned, I've opened up the runway so that it's kind of like a half and half sort of a thing. See how it's like there's a triangle here and then an opposite triangle here. So that's what you kind of want. You want like half of the snow and half of the road to make this kind of equal a square. So you turn, you look up, all the way up, and you don't want to look up and try to hit the input as you're finishing that. You want to look up, stop, and then you want to execute the Rtap. So it's just going to be try to keep on the inside of this, so throw this as far to the side as you can and don't get hit by the nade, and walk on as inside as you can. Now might throw this a little bit differently than me. I just put the nade halfway onto the mountain like this. Just throw it. I don't look up super high. And then the trick though is just to get back down to planar view, so you just have a perfect setup of planar view, start priming here, turn up the next start of this thing, turn, small turn, look up, don't rush the throw, then hit the throw. And boom, they're sitting. And then on the actual run that I did, here's my actual 34. It's going to look exactly the same. There's a little turn, look up, and you see there's a little bit of delay when I actually throw the nade. A lot of people try to rush it. Now maybe, granted, their setup could be a little bit differently. Maybe they're just priming a little bit longer, so you could turn and look up and just, maybe you do have to rush it. But you shouldn't have to. You should make it so that you're able to do a turn, a look up, stabilize, because it's really hard to do with high lag and when you're just doing all these inputs at once. Look up, stabilize for a moment, and then execute the Rtap. And so you might rush it, especially if you're getting shot at like I was on this run. But try to not rush it too hard. So yeah, planar view, turn up, throw. Try to do kind of like, I would say this throw is a little less normal than the one on the failed run, just because I was getting shot at and stuff. I just kind of rushed it. I did like a turn as I went up, but you can see on this run I actually do just a turn and then up. And that, I would say that watching my my failed run here, this is better than the actual completed run, just because the completed run was kind of weird. So prime, turn, up, throw. Good luck.